Another essential element in living a real life is loving God and people. Jesus said in Matthew 22:37, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment." What does it mean to love God with all our heart, soul, and mind? It certainly means putting our all into our worship, surrender, and service. Our focus needs to be on the character of God. And how can we do it? Loving God. We can do it by worshiping Him in song, prayer, giving, communion, and study of His Word. Let us make our worship meaningful as possible anywhere, anytime. At church, at home, while driving, while working, while playing. We can love Him by honoring Him as best as we can and by talking to Him every chance we get. Yes, if we love our Heavenly Father, we must do something about it. We must show it all at all times and in all ways how much we love Him. Also, in Matthew 22:39, Jesus said, "Love your neighbor as yourself." So we must love both God and people. We will never properly love people until we learn to love God. People do love other people, but not as much as when they first loved God. Why? Because God is the author of true love. We have to be in touch with Him. Someone has said, "It is no task or duty for me to love the whole world. My only real problem is my neighbor next door." Sometimes loving those closest to us is the hardest thing to do. We can give money to feed starving people on the other side of the world, but to deal kindly with someone at work or our next door neighbor may be an entirely different matter. All our lives we are mingled or involved with people. You can't avoid people. Even though dealing with people may be somewhat problematic, they are necessary. John 13:34-35, "A new command I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." Matthew 5:43, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven." Real life demands loving God